Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Zenobia Sense. Going to do a top 25 fall video. Basically, just going over, again, it's been like, I don't know, 6, 7 years since I've put out a video. Uh, my tastes have obviously, gone along. It's the fragrance journey as everybody else has done. Hello. But yeah, so my tastes have probably changed. This is going through all of my designers, indies, artisans, uh, niche fragrances, and literally there was only one designer that made this list. So it's going to be 25 fragrances. All these are fragrances that I purchased, paid my own money for them. Except for the first one, which is actually going to be an honorable mention. And that's the reason why it's an honorable mention. It's because I didn't actually pay for it. That fragrance is going to be from the House of Slumber House. This is Cafe Stova. This actually isn't released yet. This was a gift from the perfumer from the house, Josh Lobb. I don't know when that fragrance is supposed to be out. Hopefully sometime in 2024, maybe 2025. I don't know. Beautiful fragrance. It originally was listed as in like some earlier lists and stuff that Josh had put out as Cafe Stova 1919. So I always kind of thought it meant like cafe. Cafe Stova means I think it's a coffee house in like Finnish, and so I always kind of thought it was like a coffee house, like at the turn of the at the end of the First World War, 1919, just a year after. But again, notes of coffee, tobacco, some like vanilla, like baked good kinds of smells. Really good fragrance. It's just really good. It just kind of gives you that old European tobacco coffee house where they were still able to smoke inside, and awesome fragrance. Again, that's Cafe Stova from Slumber House. All right, so we're going to go to number 25. Number 25 is a fragrance that is released limited every year. That fragrance is Black Walnut. That's from January Scent Project. It's released limited by American Perfumer every year in limited numbers. It's a raffle to see whether or not if you have the opportunity to purchase one, which I think is a pretty fair way to do it. It's John Biebel is the creator, and I believe it came out first in 2022. This is the 2023 edition. That's when I won the right to do it. It's a dark syrupy. It's, again, I think I said Black Walnut. Anyway, I'm rusty, gang. Give me a break. It's a dark syrupy walnut smell with like antique woods. It kind of reminds me of my grandmother's house. Around like the holidays, like around Thanksgiving, she would always have like this big old school tray with like walnuts and stuff with like a big cracker in the middle of it. And it was one of the old school crackers where you would have to like, you put the nut in the middle of it and then you would like turn this little vise until it like broke it. But that was that's what this reminds me of. It's kind of old smelling, but not really in a bad way. It's actually very comforting. I really like the scent, but it really reminds me of, again, my grandmother's home. It's very comforting, very unique scent. Again, that's number 25. That's Black Walnut from January Scent Project. Number 4, we're going to go to a fragrance that most people probably know by now. It's been around for a long time. That's Chergui from Serge Lutens. That was created in 2001 by Christopher Sheldrick. He was the nose behind it. Honeyed tobacco, hay, on a powdery, ambery base. This is an older bottle. You can see how dark the juice is. I don't really know, if there's probably been reformulations on it now. This bottle's probably from maybe 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. So it's about, 12 plus years old now. But great fragrance from Serge Lutens. That's Chergui. All right, number 23 is the only, I guess, I would say, pure amber that's going to be on this list. This is from Javoy Paris. Now, I do have the cap for this, but it's a very mirrored cap. There's actually 3 fragrances that won't have caps on it, just so that you're not staring back at my camera. So, but this is from Javoy. This is Ombre Premier. This is, again, the only pure amber fragrance that I have on this list. Basically, it was created by Michelle, it's like Semiratot or something like, I can't remember the name. I couldn't find any other perfumes that the person had actually made. So I really don't really know much about them. But it's a really warm amber. And it actually, this is going to sound goofy, but it's attached to memories from when I was younger. We used to go to these haunted houses, and it really smells like the fog from the fog machines in those haunted houses from like the 90s when I used to go and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really good fragrance. I have a strong, fall kind of connotation connection to it because of the scent memories. But again, that's Ombre Premier from Javoy Paris. All right, moving on. We're going to number 22. Number 22 is a churchy incense fragrance. That's going to be Cardinal from Healy. This is an old bottle. This fragrance has actually been around, believe it or not, since 2006. James Healy actually made this fragrance. That's the nose behind it. That fragrance is pretty much church incense, very photorealistic church incense. It's got a tad more vanilla in the dry down than something like Incense Avignon from Comme des Garçons, which is kind of, I think, why I'm starting to gravitate towards this one. I do have Avignon as well. But again, number 22 is going to be Cardinal from Healy. Number 21 is going to be actually another Serge Lutens Christopher Sheldrake masterpiece. It's from the year 2000. That's going to be Arabi. Arabi was made again in 2000. It's a spiced honey and dates scent, like over a bed of amber and resins and woods. It's, really good fragrance, spiced, but like I would never find this offensive. Some people may, but I never would. But again, that's a wonderful fragrance from Serge Lutens, and that's Arabi at number 21. Number 20 is actually going to be from the house of Arige Ladurée. Russian Adam made this fragrance in 2024. This is Royal Barn. Now, Royal Barn is an earthy with natural. It's an earthy scent with natural and aged civet with like hay and artemisia. So it also has this greenness to it. It's a little bit oody that kind of gives it a little bit of a barnyard kind of feeling early on. It's that barnyardy kind of smell, but I don't get any of that classic fresh, quote unquote, pissy civet. It's a really good scent, very rich. I personally would not find this offensive at all, but it's called Royal Barn. Some people probably would find this a little weird. I love the juice. It's from this year, but it's a great fragrance. Royal Barn from Arige Ladurée. Again, 2024 release. Number 19 is going to be an old favorite from the house of Andy Tower, Tower Perfumes. Again, made by Andy Tower all the way back in 2005. This is L'Air du Désert Marocain. This is a very old bottle. You can tell by the old all wooden cap. It's not plastic. It doesn't say Tower on it. And it actually lists that it's lot number 19 on the bottom. So I guess it's the 19th batch. But anyway, this is a great fragrance. I've said in the past, this reminds me of like an old farmhouse kitchen. You get like baking spices. It's very dry, smells old, airy. But you also get hints of vanilla. kind of, like leftover, like spices from a pantry. Again, really good fragrance. There's not really much that needs to be said. It's been around forever. If you haven't had your nose on this, you've really been missing out. But this is Fleur Desert Americain from Andy Tower Perfumes. All right, moving on to number 18. Number 18 is a classic from Slumber House. This is Sova. This is actually an old marble bottle of Sova. This came out in 2002, perfumers Josh Lobb. Personally, I get hay, honey, beeswax, hops. Not really much honey, but you do have a bit of a sweetness to it, but it is dry. And I mean, again, it just screams autumn. It really just, it's big this time of year. Again, this is Sova from Slumber House. This is the old green juice. Bottle should be like 2012, 2013. It's really old. But again, that's Sova from Slumber House at number 18. All right. Number 17 is actually a fragrance that is not released yet. It should be released probably in the next month or two. I paid full price for it, so I am still putting it on here. I just purchased it a little earlier from the perfumer. And this is actually from the house of Pine Ward, and perfumer is Nick Nielsen. And this is from, again, a 2024 release. This is Coffee Tobacco. This is a fragrance that, again, should be out in the next month or two, I assume. Again, it's October right now, so before the end of the year, it should be out for this time of year, obviously. Coffee Tobacco. The coffee is very comforting. The tobacco is very dry, very ambery, really good scent, really good longevity. Again, that's Coffee Tobacco from Pine Ward. What was that? 17? 17. All right, number 16 is going to be another from the house of Arige Ladurée. And this is actually going to be Russian Oud 2. This was a 2023 release. The original Russian Oud was one of the first, within the first couple of years that the house kind of came around. But this was a 2023 release. And it's a very chocolatey oud. Again, Russian Adam, I can't remember. Russian Adams, who was the nose behind that. It's a very chocolatey, ambery oud. It's not offensive at all. Some people will say that it reminds them of Or from Slumber House. It's not that kind of chocolatey. Like, again, it's still an oud fragrance, but there's no barnyard or offensive. If anyone really wanted something that was a good introduction into natural oud without being like scared away, something like this would be a great fragrance. And again, that's Royal Oud 2 from Arige Ladurée at 16. Number 15 is going to be from the house of Henley Perfumes. Hans Henley is the nose behind this from 2019. This is Tobacco Cider. Now, Tobacco Cider is it's not a really overtly apple kind of smell. Like, again, you think tobacco and cider. I don't get like this huge apple thing going on with this one. And the tobacco is just like old and it's quite musty. I love it. I have some scent memories that get tapped into for this one. But again, it's a very dry and old feeling fragrance from the house of Henley Perfumes, and that's Tobacco Cider at number 15. Number 14 is going to be from the house of Amouage. It needs no introduction. This is Memoir Man. Karine Vinchon Spanner. I don't really know how to say these people's names. I'm sorry. From 2010. This is an old click cap bottle. Now they're all magnetic, but this is an old bottle that I've had. Really good fragrance. Basically, it's tobacco, incense, woods with this green edge from the wormwood. Awesome fragrance, easy to wear, not going to offend anybody. From the house of Amouage. Oh, smacking into stuff. Memoir Man. All right, that was number 14. Number 13 is the only designer on this list, and it's from the House of Dior. Francois Demachy created this in 2014. This bottle was actually was made according to the code in 2013, but it was released in 2014, and this is Dior Le Parfum, or Dior's Fahrenheit Le Parfum. I mean, at this point, this has been around for 10 years. Take Fahrenheit, you remove the gas, you make it real thick, dense, vanillic, rum, licorice, so good. Fahrenheit Parfum. I think you still get that relatively easy. I don't even know if it's ever been reformulated, but anyway, that was number 13. Number 12, we're going to go back to the House of Pineward. Nicholas Nielsen again. Nick Nielsen. This was a fragrance from 2020. This is Apple Tobacco. Apple Tobacco, I mean, just what the name says. This one actually is apples, tobacco, juicy, very juicy, warm, sweet. It's wonderful. Put a little bit of pine resins in the background. I mean, it's a wonderful fragrance. Definitely get your nose on Apple Tobacco from Pineward if you have not. Again, that was number 12. Number 11 is going to be that from the House of Clandestine Laboratories. The nose behind this is Mark Sage. He's also the owner-operator of it. This was created in 2023, and this is Wendover. This one kind of came out of nowhere when I discovered this one. It's quite modern, but it really has old vibes. It's woody, it's earthy. It has this like really smoky coal smoke thing going on. And the only thing I can describe would be like burning flowers. Like there is a floral aspect, but it just feels like they're on fire. You get some musk, you get some tobacco, you get some leather in the base, and I mean it lasts forever, like 24 hours. The base is still pumping. But again, that's Wendover from Clandestine Laboratories. Awesome scent. If you haven't had your nose on that, definitely check out Clandestine Laboratories. Number 10 is going to be from the House of Haven Hollow Perfumes. The nose behind this is Eric Valentino. This came out in 2023. This is Cochise. This normally has a round, very shiny cap, but again, it's very mirrored, so I took that off. Cochise, that's what is there to say about this one? It smells like the Wild West to me. Camping outside of town, you get this smoky cedar, pine logs burning, saddle leather, from your horse. Every now and then you'll get like this chance whiff, these like little chance whiffs of like vanilla and coffee, like it's whiffing out of town, like you're just on the outskirts of town. Very dry fragrance, again, like the desert, like the Wild West. Awesome scent. These are limited in release. They sell out really quick. This one should be coming back, I believe, in early 2025, so keep your eye out for that one. That's Cochise from Haven Hollow Perfumes. Okay, number 9, we're going to the House of Prin. Prin Lamros is the nose behind this 2023 creation. This is Krishana. Krishana, I believe, is like the Thai word for oud. It is a very smooth, very, very smooth, well-balanced, very well-blended oud and amber scent. There are some florals, but I mean, that's real slight. Really, you just get this high quality, again, super smooth, natural oud, not stinky, not barnyard, amber scent, with all these naturals. It's beautiful fragrance. Again, Krishana from Prin, 2023 release, and that was number 9. All right, number 8, we're going to go back to the House of Slumber House. And this is a 2021 release. Again, the nose for all Slumber House fragrances is Josh Lobb, and this is going to be Monde. Monde is a very autumn feeling fragrance. Tobacco, apples, cherries, woods, pumpkins. Again, very, very autumn-like scent. I believe this one is probably going to be coming back around. I don't think it's been out for a bit, but you know, it's 2024, fall 2024. There's a good chance I think this one will be making another comeback this season. So keep your eye out for that one. Again, that's Mond. This is a 50 ml bottle that it'll probably be a 30 ml bottle, but this is a 50 that was from 2021 when it first released. Mond Slumber House. All right, number 7 is going to be La Couche de Diable from Serge Lutens, the Devil's Coochie. No, I'm just kidding. I can't remember what it means, but awesome fragrance. That's from 2020. Was it 2019? Again, Christopher Sheldrake. That's the nose behind that. Spicy, dark, amber, woods, autumn. It's a great scent. And again, if you've tried anything, it definitely has that Sheldrake DNA. Awesome fragrance from Serge Lutens. All right, that was number 7. Number 6. Getting to some more here. For number 6, we're back to a Riesler Doré, Russian Adams 2021 release. This is Russian Musk 2. Russian Musk 2, natural Siberian deer musk overload with pines and amber spices. A little bit of natural oud, but I have a scent memory attached to this. The musks in this just remind me so much of this old head shop that we used to go into to buy incense from when I was in high school. And it just really has this really good musky, get your nose on it. Again, Riesler Dorés are hard to obtain because, again, once they sell out, they're gone unless he makes another batch. Like, again, this is Russian Musk 2. There was a Russian Musk 1. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the Russian Oud earlier. That was Russian Oud 2. So, again, it's it is what it is. But if you can get your nose on that, please do. It is so, so goddamn good. And that's number 6. All right, number 5. This will actually be my fragrance for Halloween without a doubt. This is from Prin Lamros's side line because it's Prin, Prasanna, Strangers. This is from Prasanna. This is Hexen. And it was actually made in conjunction with, hopefully you can read that name. I would butcher it if I couldn't. Right down here is the person's name. Prin actually made this as a bespoke. Prin Lamros made that as a bespoke fragrance for Rajesh something. I can't pronounce his last name. I don't want to butcher it. In 2008. But it is an herbal witch's brew. It's even kind of green in the color. But it is, again, it is an herbal witch's brew. I really can't describe it better than that. It's really, really well blended. It just feels other. It's so goddamn good. Again, this is what I'll be wearing Halloween night, no doubt. And that's Hexen. I think it's discontinued, but I think you might be able to still find it out there. But it's really good. Get your nose on it if you can. Hexen from Prasanna. All right. Number 4, we're going to go back to the house of Henley Perfumes. Hans Henley's 2015 creation. This is Bourbon Extrait. Oh, God, this is so good. Bourbon Extrait is this little boozy, but it's just really this rich, dense, oaky, ambery vanilla. It's just so rich, so inviting, so warming. It's so good. That's Henley Bourbon Extrait. There is a Bourbon EDC. This is the Extrait. Just so rich. Get your nose on it if you can. And that's from, again, Henley Perfumes, made by Hans Henley. All right, number 3, we're going to go back to Pine Ward. Nicholas Nielsen's 2022 creation. This is Katabatic. All right, this is the older bottle. If you look, the new bottles now have these painted trees, but the old ones, they were like engraved on there in addition to the name Katabatic on the side. But Katabatic. All right. Katabatic I have huge childhood memories attached to this one. Birch, woods, spices. If you grew up drinking birch beer, I think this is going to be a hit for you because it really brings back childhood memories of like birch beer, just really good. But again, you have all these spices, all this birch. It's really a fall and even into winter fragrance, at least for me. So good. Katabatic from Pine Ward. Definitely get your nose on it. Number 2, second to the top, is from the House of Slumber House. This is Keast. Now, Keast originally was made in 2025. Excuse me. Wow, it's not even 2025 yet. Was originally made in 2015 in the flask format. I have one of those, but that feels more like that's more like end of summer vibes for me. This was the 2022 release of Keast. This is what was called Red Keast, Winter Keast, Keast 22. The other version is normally like, just like peaches and tobacco and some tea kind of notes. This is stewed peaches and berry compote, tobacco, honey, spices. It is so good, so warming, so comforting. If you can get your nose on one of the current renditions of Keast, definitely do that. They're not exactly like the one that was released, but it's very, very close. You would definitely get the idea of what this version smells like, the actual 22 release. That's Keast, made again by Josh Lobb, like everything else from Slumber House, and that is so good. All right, number 1 is again from the House of Haven Hollow Perfumes, Eric Valentino's 2023 creation. Bramble Sap. This is autumn. This fragrance completely caught me off guard. Pines, resins galore, with stone fruits, mulberry, maple, amber sweetness with spices and hay. It is autumn. This fragrance sold out within minutes the last time that it was released. It's actually going to be released again on the 10th of October. It's going to be a limited release. It sounds like he's going to release it every autumn, but on October 10th at 5 p.m. Eastern, this is going to be available on the website for as long as it lasts, and I doubt it'll be long. But again, if you can get your nose on this or pick up a bottle, do yourself a favor and do so. The bottle won't look exactly the same. Eric actually puts, you can't see it, but in Roman numerals at the top, when you got it, so that you'll know that this is a 2023. I think the label's actually changing on the new one, but it'll still say 2024 at the top, so you'll know what version it is easily. You won't have to try to find out what it is. But again, this normally has a round, very mirrored cap that I didn't put on because it would look weird in the camera. But anyway, these are 25 fragrances, really 26 if you want to count this little marbled beauty back there. 25 fragrances that I truly love for this season. Send me some love. Let me know in the comments if you like these videos. Again, I did have fun making it. Going through as many fragrances as I had did take me a long freaking time. Just to find, like, hey, okay, these are the options. Okay, these, and then basically they're going into different pools and being removed. It was a nightmare. But anyway, still fun. I really like making the videos. We're getting close to a half an hour. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Just let me know in the comments if you made it to the end. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Again, this is Travis, Zenobia Scents. Smell well, gang. Bye-bye.